Hello and welcome to the midterm project for Learn Elixir. For our midterm project, we want to encapsulate 4 separate goals to make sure that we really solidify the knowledge that we learned in the first half of this course. In order to solidify our knowledge, the goals that we have are to encompass the areas of OTP, Elixir, Ecto, as well as Phoenix. So our project should be created to encapsulate all of these parts, which means that for Elixir, it really just means creating an application, since anything that we do in Elixir encompasses that part. For OTP, that means building some sort of monitoring system, or ephemeral caching, or some sort of system that needs to be updated consistently and accessed at really quick speeds. For Phoenix and GraphQL, it really means just building out a GraphQL API server so that we can serve up the responses for our API. And for Ecto, it means persisting some sort of information that we display in Phoenix to our Postgres database. For this midterm, I don't want to discourage anyone from having their own creativity when creating this project. If you have a project that you really want to create, or you have any ideas on, or even want some help founding the ideas for your project, feel free to contact us at support@learnelixir.dev. For this midterm project, you're completely free to create whatever you want, as long as it gets approved by us. Your project must encapsulate the areas that we went over, so you have to make sure that your project is going to hit all the areas that we just talked about. However, if your project does hit those areas and you'd like to use it for the midterm, please contact us and we'll make sure that your project is approved and that we confirm that it hits all the areas that we're trying to encapsulate. However, if you don't want to create your own project and you want to do something a bit more on guidelines, there's an example application that we can create in order to checkmark all of the areas for solidifying our knowledge. If you are creating your own project, you can skip these next few slides. If not, follow along and you'll learn about the project we're going to create. For our example project, we're going to create a payment system. This payment system will allow us to pay different users who will have their own wallets and can hold multiple currencies at the same time. Each user can choose which currencies they want to hold, as well as which user they'd like to send payments to. In order to make sure that the currency is accurate when we're sending money from one user to another, we have to ensure that we're using the exact exchange rates that are currently up. So we're going to be using an API in order to pull the currency exchange rates from a server and use those when we're doing our calculations. Essentially, for our database, we're going to have a user system with wallets, which wallets will have currencies, and those currencies will have values. And that will allow us to have users within our system that we can send money from one user to another. We'll do all of this over GraphQL, and we'll also set up GraphQL subscriptions for when the exchange rate changes, as well as for the current wallet value of a user, given all their currencies. So you can specify one currency and get back the total value of all of the users' different currencies in that one value. Some of the rules of this project are that we must use a process-based monitoring for our exchange rate so that we can monitor what our exchange rate will be and that it's accurate and alive. The amount of currencies that we support should be able to be set inside of the config folder so that we can set what currencies we want to support in our application when we're compiling it. All of our user interaction functionality, such as sending money or even looking at a user's account for money and how much they have, should be done over GraphQL queries and mutations. Finally, we should have tests written for all of the parts that we write that are OTP related or GraphQL related so that we can ensure we have a level of guarantees. With all this in mind, good luck on the midterm project, and if you're following for the example project, you'll have a document in the download section for the assignment. Otherwise, I'll see you in the next module after the midterm project.